now. I'm gonna actually read the story now, I swear. Okay. Chapter 1.3. This is Connection Line. Here we go. After school, we hung out on the school campus for a bit to talk about what had happened. I couldn't just ignore him after saying what I said, after all. We sit down on the main stairs, and he looks towards me and asks, "So what was all that about?" I think for a moment as I look back through what had happened in the last 3 hours before I woke up here. It's hard to explain. I don't even fully know what happened. I shrug a little. One moment, I'm getting ridiculed at school. The next, they're all sleeping, and then I wake up in a whole new world where people tell me to go to school and pick bird feathers. I say with a slightly annoyed tone. He looks at me, clearly annoyed. No. Oh, wait. He looks at me and scratches his head. So, you don't know me. You sure it wasn't a dream? I looked at him, clearly annoyed. No, I say firmly, which I think hurts his feelings a bit. Looks away and replies with, "Then why didn't you say anything sooner?" I roll my eyes. So the only response I get is, "You're crazy. Are you sure it wasn't a dream?" I know that it wasn't a dream. Dreams don't erase your memories and make you think you had a past life where everyone hates you and you're stupid conditioned, and dreams don't make you off yourself. I mean, some might, if you're crazy enough, but I'm not crazy. Looks at me for a good few seconds and stutters out a uh-huh before looking around and then back at me. If you say so. I take a deep breath and tell him, "Look, all that matters is that I don't know you or almost anything going on, okay?" He looks at me with a slightly disappointed look. "So Callie's gone?" Yes! Okay, see, I do trust you to point out what the fuck happened to the actual being that was in there. Nico! Fucking ads right at the... How does this every single fucking time? It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking absolute bullshit. It's like I'm pressing the ad button or something, but I swear to God, I'm not pressing the fucking ad button. You can time it. Every half an hour. Plus like 30 seconds or 40 seconds or something. It's a little bit off, but it is what it is. It's a little bit of a wait time there. But I'm just like... Tear my own skin off for this thing! I know, right? The world is a terrible place. No! Fuck. Back, welcome, Nico. How's it going? How are you today? How are you today, Nico? How have you been? You write any more chapters, bro? Hey, 3, 2, 1, toke! Last chapter for now. Alright. Is that chapter 15 then? We're on what, chapter 10? Now? What up, man? Hope you're well. Good luck on your stream. I'll be lurking. Hell yeah, Sean. Sounds good, brother. Thank you for the lurk. Hope your stream is going as well. Everyone go check out EJ Sean. Did I do it right? Wait, why did it... Wait, what? Oh, I put a fucking space because I'm retarded. I'm like, wait, what? How did that not work? I was like, EJ, what? Wait. Oh, I'm like, oh my, okay, this is why I can't do stuff as soon as I took a toke. I put the fucking dash in the wrong spot. I'm fucking retarded. I'm like, wait, what am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Okay. We did it. That's all that matters. I sigh and respond, no, I'm right here. Whoever you thought was Callie must have been someone else, or maybe a different version of me or something. He looks at his knees sadly. Man. Try to reassure him. Look, I know you might be skeptical or sad or some emotion, I don't know, but I didn't do this on purpose. Well, I mean... really? Self-doubt. Not taking accountability for yourself. And the consequences of your actions. Because to me, the consequences... or the reason for killing yourself is to escape consequences. But in this case, the character is now living the consequences of their actions. So, this hits really hard with the character, because whenever you as the reader can tell, there's a dissonance between reality and what the character perceives, even in a small way, is a very, very powerful thing. So to me, I look at it and I go, this character may not realize it, but their purposeful actions of killing themselves caused this outcome. So in some way, shape, or form, they are at fault for it. And it's a level of self-accountability that, through character development, will this character, by the end of the story, be able to extrapolate the second and third order effects of their actions and how those actions affect other people, and take responsibility for that in some way. So this is a great show for the possibilities of growth of the character and where the character is now, which is, whether it's true or not in the character's eyes, through extrapolation of reality, it could be said to be true. And can the character reach a level of self-accountability that will allow them to at least indulge the idea that their actions of killing themselves killed Callie, the other Callie? That's just a deep psychological dive on the possibilities of the change of the character, if you want to capitalize on something like that, because it's very clear that the person is, like, the character is trying to get away from things, and in trying to get away from them, they wind up in a bigger, conundrum than they were before. where it's like looking back at the beginning of how this character looked at their old life versus they look at their life now. They're going to look in the future and look at their back on their life now as if they did as their life before. So it's like a jumping of levels and looking behind you and seeing your progression throughout it. All this for one word, wowza. It's because that's how it's not the word, it's the presentation of the character, right? And what that presentation means and how that develops through it. So, yes, it's one word, but that's how powerful a single word can be, right? And that's how you can capitalize on something so minuscule. And that's what makes, in my opinion, the greatest writing. The greatest writing is not this massive, amazing, huge awesomeness. It's all of those individual atoms built into beautiful molecules. Those beautiful molecules built into beautiful shapes. Those beautiful shapes built into beautiful designs. Those beautiful designs reflecting their own structure, right? And that's the magnificence of a story unfolding, right? Just my thing is, I'm not really paying attention to the words. I'm building a story separate from the words in my head, right? So I always have like 1,000 different stories in my head, and then like the red outline that's like, this is the canon story. Everything else is what I imagine the story could be, what I want the story to be, or iterations of how could this story fail, and where could I get a hint of this the direction the story took went in the wrong direction. And that's how I put myself in like analysis mode when I'm reading. And I'm most likely just as confused as you, I say, as I go to get up, and I'll see you later, I guess. It's okay, Fish, if you don't have a vivid, insane imagination with, like, open tabs, then, you know, it's like trying to explain to people who don't have an inner voice what a homunculi is. Wait, you can hear your own voice in your head? Wait, you can't hear your own voice? Oh, no wonder you're so fucking stupid. Jesus. So you literally can't think unless you talk out loud? Wait, what? I have like 12 inner voices. Yeah, people without it, I'm like, how do you think? It's like people with aphantasia, if you know what aphantasia is. It's basically you can't create images in your head, right? So, well, the thing is, Fish, I thought this story had crossovers. I have both. Woohoo! There you go, connection. Perfect. He gets up and blurts out, "Aren't you worried more? Or, like, freaking out? I would, if I was in your situation." He awkwardly stumbles a bit as he struggles to get the words out all of a sudden. "'Cause, like, you did say you, offed yourself?" he asked with a worried tone. "Only crossovers this story as with my other stories, but even then, this is mostly separate." I think the crossovers might be to Earth and the real world, like isekai, because this would technically be considered isekai, right? By definition, because it's being pulled into another world, so it allows you to have references to Earth. Yeah. That's like one of the greatest strengths to isekais, is being able to capitalize on earthly relevance and comparison. Of saying, you know, like for instance in Sean's story where he's like, oh, this species looks like a centaur. Oh, this species looks like a satyr. Oh, this species looks like an elf, but they have vampire fangs. Right? So it takes out your need to spend a lot of time with exposition and you can just say this is like this but called this. Done. Whereas instead of being like, they were the Trollocs, and they had hooves, and their feet and knees ran backwards, and some of them had snouts like pigs, and some snouts like wolves, hair across all their bodies. It's like, they're man, bear, pig men. You can say, they were just man, bear, pigs. It's like, you can take all of that explanation, make it extremely humorous, relatable, and get the image across. And that, to me, is the power of an isekai. That's why I think they're super popular. Because it's easy for references to be made, memes, everything, all inside of the story, while maintaining a fantasy-like or alternate reality world. So I think it's a combination of best of both worlds, right? But like all things, it can be extremely overdone, right? Because isekai is just so huge right now. It feels like people are just riding the train of isekai. But then you have like lit RPGs also up and coming, like solo leveling and stuff like that. Yeah, almost half of Sky is Callie comparing this to her life on Earth. You'll see. I love that. Hell yeah. People will say, oh, that's dumb. That doesn't give you any imagination. I'm like, no, man, that's how you capitalize on not having to worry about exposition. You want to use all the tools to your advantage, especially if you're an amateur writer. Because the more tools you have in your kit and the more tools that you work into your story, the better it works. Shadowrun! I mean, what? Who? Huh? Don't worry about it. I roll my eyes a bit before responding. That's not the worst thing I've done, but yeah, I did. And yes, I'm freaking out, just in my head. Can I go now? He sighs. Yeah. Bye. See you later, I guess. And waves before walking off. While walking home, I take in the scenery around me. And by scenery, I mean the mega metropolis that I'm walking through. Giant skyscrapers and floating train stations, along with busy highways merging into each other. Not to mention the giant shard in the sky reading the Meredith district. Think about the past few hours, so I've been all day before arriving home. Araya is already waiting for me atop the stairs as I walk in. She looks at me while I close the door. You probably completely rewrote this, but I would say one thing here is, how does the character know where they're going? If they've been distracted the entire time, I highly doubt in one trip they would have figured out how to walk from the school to their house. So that's kind of an immersion breaking moment that I'm guessing, just want to make sure that you're aware of, but I'm guessing, because I trust you, that it's something that you've probably fixed in later drafts. Hey, you good? You didn't walk home with me today, she asks. Callie is a nerdy little girl. So, in that case, have her have an idea hinting at her, like, absent-mindedly mapping the city in her mind as, like, maybe a distraction technique. Like, as she's looking around, she's absent-mindedly, you know, saying, you know, looking behind her. Small things like looking behind her and noticing the buildings and the turns that you've taken, small things like that. Just to emphasize that the character is very aware there's... Yeah, remember when she noted the skyscraper? Yeah. I just got the feeling that she was... To me, I got the feeling of awe and amazement. Not so much... calculation. So... the fact that you're aware of it is good. And maybe it's just the fact that it didn't come off in this. They're so far, I love stuff like that. Do low-key need more afterlife stories. Hey, that's what Stoner Girl Evolution is, man. It's technically an afterlife story that's not an afterlife story. The only reason it's an afterlife story is because they trap minds inside of dead bodies. I'll try to hint to it better, though. Thanks. Yeah. But the fact that you are aware of it is important. Because you can't overdo it, but it is a set of essence where you're trying to set two things as true, right? She can distract herself and calculate what's going on while freaking out and trying to figure out what's going on, right? And then that makes us understand that she's intelligent and she knows what's going on. And that can lead back to an emotional state, because usually extremely intelligent people are at a young age triggered by emotion until they numb themselves to emotion and go straight to intellect. I look up at her as I go up the stairs. Yeah, just hanging out with some kid. She rolls her eyes and sways to her right. It was with that nerd kid, right? Why do you even hang out with him? He's weird. I shrug. I don't even know him. She walks into the kitchen to make something, continuing the conversation with, again, what's that nonsense? Vulcans? Well, the thing about Vulcans, Fish, is if you know the lore, it's not that Vulcans don't feel emotion. Vulcans feel emotion. They master their emotion so they don't act on it. And they don't show it. But the whole point of it is that rage, hatred, and anger are so in-depth and so part of the Vulcan, like, biology. It was destroying their civilization, so they literally created a religion, forced it on people in order to suppress and control those emotions. They still feel them, they just use the idea of suppression and meditation in order to not act on them. Because they were, yeah, exactly, it was destroying their entire... That's what makes Vulcans so deep and epic. You best me to it. I fucking love Star Trek, dude. Pull up any Star Trek lore, I bet I know it, man. Like the theory that the final Data is actually B4. And he's been pretending the entire time. There's some fucked up Star Trek lore. The Borg are my favorite species. Vulcans are probably one of the most interesting species in Star Trek. Every other species seems to be pretty straightforward, but Vulcans are super deep. And that's because Vulcans are built into the core of the lore, right? Like, Vex from Destiny are my favorite species, faction of all time. I don't know those connection. But I love the idea of hive mind technology. The ultimate accumulation of intelligence and consciousness of the universe. The hive mind, because I love Zerg. So, yeah. But the Borg are also extremely arrogant. But, I mean, to be fair, they deserve it. I walk behind her and watch her make whatever she's making. Yeah, sure, but seriously. Oh, I was going to say about the Vulcans is when there's this primordial fluid that have grown to worship something they call the pattern. They work to transform the entire universe into... Yo, Callie, what's up? How's it going? They work to transform the entire universe into their perfect pattern and build these big robot frames to do so. They also time travel and shit, so it's cool. Have you ever watched the original, well, not the original, but you know, the original Star Trek Enterprise with like Jonathan Archer? Primal Zerg are more interesting than Swarm Zerg. Get your lore game up. No, I'm not old, sorry. We're reading your autobiography. True connection. What? Nice, you hit a watch streak. Congratulations, Callie. So there's this so basically it's like the entire series revolves around an interdimensional war where there's humans from the future who basically create like the time core, and they basically like manage time to make sure that species don't develop time technology and fuck with like the timeline. And there's a species that basically is turning space into like a fluid expanse, kind of like species 8472 from Voyager, but a little bit different, where they have these massive orbs called spheres that are in what, Star Trek? Yeah, in Enterprise with Jonathan Archer, the Time Wars. And I will say, Fish, Amon is the best Zerg ever. I walk behind her and watch her make whatever she's making. Yeah, sure, but seriously, I don't know him. She finishes making some buttered toast and heads towards the stairs. Whatever, just don't hang around him. He'll turn you into a nerd. Wait, Fish. It's not the original, it's my favorite. Pre-Protoss Amon is the best. It's like the ultimate combination of Zerg and technology. Even though it didn't last very long, it is the greatest rendition in my... Nerds! True, Callie. True, Callie. But you're entitled to your opinion, Fish. I think it's the coolest form of Zerg. You do know that the Swarm is the species you play in the game, right? The fuck is an Amon? Amon, as his hybrid, destroy the Zerg and Protoss. The end darkness of in utter darkness. You're never making it 1.5 with this chat. He is like the rogue entity. He's my favorite character in the lore. No, I'll shut up. Roll my eyes before taking off my backpack and heading upstairs to my room to change into more casual clothes. Of course you like hybrids. Such a Gary Stu streamer. I don't know what that means. Hybrids are the best, man. Everyone loves a good Fuda. I mean, what? I walk back downstairs and pop a pizza pocket in the microwave while still thinking about what's going on. My guy, you're the reason why he isn't reading. Fish is really good at this, and then Fish will say, oh, I'm gonna shut up, and I'll tell him not to shut up. This is the moment. So, connection. Remember what I was saying yesterday when you were comparing things? And then I said eventually, once you've set a style of standard of comparison, you can drop the comparison and it will place in the reader's mind the alternate reality version. So in my mind, I'm thinking like alternate dimension Pizza Pocket. Right? Maybe it has blue dough. Maybe it has like green cheese. Maybe it has purple meat. Maybe it has a yellow sauce, you know? But it's like, I know we're in an alternate reality, and you've established, I'm not big on doing stuff like that, not gonna lie. Well, I just mean, like, you did it kind of earlier, right? You are with your constant glazing. Oh, are you talking to Fish about glazing? Closest I've got to that is Horizon, and where I have an Earth twin planet. Ah. Nice. After a bit of eating and thinking, I go back up to my room and lay on my bed. While sad that I could no longer eat the Pizza Pocket, but also happy and confused and honestly a lot of emotions. Araya walks in and sits down on her bed, texting away at her phone and muttering something along the lines of, "Ugh, Brad again." I try to start a conversation and ask, "Brad?" She looks up from her phone for a sec before looking back down and scrolling off of something. "Yeah, Brad." She looks up at me and stares at my clueless face for a second or two before responding, "Oh yeah, memory loss or whatever. Brad's just an ex, keeps trying to get back with me because I'm just so hot," she says as she looks back, which causes me to, well, crash the fuck out. Flips table! Fuck life! We are never, ever, ever getting back together. Fish! Why would you say that? What did I do to you? Why are you so mean to me? I love you, Fish. I want to have your babies. Why would you do this to me? It's not fair. I don't have anywhere else to go, Fish. Based. Taylor Swift is middling. Hot take. Her music and her appearance both. The problem is, people who are 6s think that a 6 is a 1. Especially if you're a woman. My mom says I'm cute. I'm sex and back. You know what they say? Fuck off. No, fuck on. You get better results. Well, if you fuck sideways, you get whiplash. No, it's toke time, Fish. Okay. Keeps trying to get back to me because he says I'm just so hot, she says, and she looks back, which causes me to, well, want to chuckle. She looks like Alien with makeup from the side. Jesus, fish. Jesus. Why aren't you reading Fish 2025? True. Instead, I just exhale out my nose, like when you see oh man, it's way too hot. I gotta fucking... I gotta take this shit off. I gotta take this shit off. Look, someone turned the fucking heater on or some shit. It's the middle of the winter though, so that's what you expect. Alright. Okay. Yeah, I just exhale. Instead, I just exhale at my nose, like when you see something funny on your phone. Then I respond with, yeah, so hot, which she rolls her eyes at. I give an awkward smile before checking some phone on a dresser near my bed. Surely enough, it's my phone, but it has a lock screen. I ask Araya if she knows what it is, and she replies with one word, sky. So I type sky and the phone unlocks. Kinda shitty password, just one word, I frown. She nods in agreement while humming some unrecognizable tune. I search through the phone and see apps like YouTube, Netflix, Twitter, Discord, and more. I guess corporations are so powerful, they plant themselves across space and time. I love that. That is... Those small things like that are so powerful. I go through some of the apps and see people commenting on Araya's posts and a bunch of ads for different corporations. News about a new massive tower finishing construction tomorrow and a water plant exploding. Yeah, I might have to replace that once it becomes a show, but you know. Why is my nose so itchy? Fuck off. Am I getting sick? No. The important part. Once it becomes Scotty. I smoked too much weed, guys. Probably because I smoked too much weed. Close the apps and go to my photos to see if there is anything. And there is. There's pictures ranging from just me and Araya to me and that boy, a bunch of family photos and random people taking pics with me and Rhea. Definitely have some sort of famous sister. Anything's better than what I had before. You need to smoke too much. Read. Yep. I keep scrolling through the photos until one catches my eyes. It's a picture of a hill, nice and green with grass. There's purple flower at the top and a date of August 27th, but no year. Looking at it, I can't help but think of somewhere I used to go often. There's a forest in the backyard and plains to the sides. In the background and plains to the sides. It's serene, but looking at it causes me nothing but dread. I scroll away and close the photo app before turning off my phone and closing my eyes. Chapter 1.4, Still Bored. As I lay in bed thinking about what to do, Araya starts up a live stream and walks out of the room as she does whatever popular influencers do. Even though I'm used to the quiet, I still admire the lack of noise that I hadn't heard all day. No noisy air conditioner, no chatting, no cars beeping at each other, and definitely no deranged sister telling me I should die. It's nice. But like everything, that's another drop here. Okay, so she had a sibling. That sibling wasn't very nice, so it wasn't just her parents, let's say. It's nice. But like everything, I get bored of it pretty quickly and get up out of bed to go outside for a walk. The sudden burst of noise almost deafening as I open the door to step outside and walk down the sidewalk. Can't help myself from looking around like an idiot who didn't know what civilization was. So I was basically that idiot. After about half an hour, I get sorta used to my surroundings and turn right into some less developed area. There's construction going on and a sidewalk that cuts off into dirt and sand. I decide to head back and go home. So this, again, would be a capitalization moment of introspection, that the character is very, very aware of their surroundings to the point of mentally mapping everywhere that they go. Because she seems to have purpose with what she's doing, but that purpose doesn't seem to be coming across. When I get back, Araya is still streaming, and she turns the camera to me. Daily dose of Callie, my nerd sister who doesn't know what fashion is. I swear, one day I'll make you wear actually good clothes. Yeah, I get that. Sweet. As she pans the camera back to her, like ever. She never wants to go shopping. Such a bore. Shame, too. Pans the camera back to me, because this little nerd is actually pretty. Such a wasted opportunity. Which causes me surprise. Someone actually complimenting me. Wow, that's a first. I look down at my clothes before looking back up. Yeah, these clothes aren't the best, I mutter, which causes her to look at me with probably the most surprised look I'd ever seen. She stumbles on her words for a bit before getting, "You don't clothes?" out before following up with, "You don't like your clothes now. Does that mean we can finally shop together?" I blink at her a couple times before I, "Yeah, sure." Walking away back up to my room. In the moment, hadn't really hit me what she was asking and saying. There was so much happening in my brain at the time. You can hear her squealing and rambling on about me, and then the door opening, closing, and then silence again. I should have followed her. And maybe I wouldn't be bored. I'd have someone to talk to, but instead I hop into my bed and watch her stream. She's hanging out with some friends and watching at a bus stop just a couple blocks away from our house, chatting about how I've been acting different and that I finally don't want to be boring. I guess whatever I was before this was more of a blank slate waiting for me to arrive and add personality. That's an interesting concept. You know what instantly goes through my mind with that connection is Click. The moments in between, like the fast forwarding, where he's just an emotionless husk going through the motions. Very powerful imagery of what it could be. And the fact that you're throwing all these different theories around is like, you know, that's what the character would be like, right? Oh, it might be this, it might be that, it might be this. Your mind's racing with all the possibilities, right? And then things will make you think of certain things. And it's like reactive, right? I focus back on the stream. I focus back on the stream, and Araya and her friends are all on a bus. It doesn't look crowded or old, more like empty and sleek. It's exactly how I imagined it. Light blue interior with white streaks to signal where the wall meets the ceiling and where to pull for a stop. Like it dashes of color as the ads blend into the paint coated and onto the shiny metal. It may seem dumb, but in that moment I felt like I'd accomplished something, almost even getting deja vu from it. Even though I'm still bored, I'm at least happy. Chapter 1.5, Sisters. I used to have a toxic family. I would constantly get told to kill myself from my sister. My dad and mom would ignore me as much as possible, and my grandma would insult me on everything I do. Wasn't really different from how literally almost anybody else was towards me, though. But this time, it's different. So far, my family seems to care about me. The thing that matters the most to me right now is that my sister cares about me. Picking the main connection that you're going to strive for, right? So when she came home after her stream and asked if I wanted to go shopping after school tomorrow, I couldn't have said yes quicker. Was I this character's dad? And I'm the mom fish, absolutely. If I had said all my words like that, then Eminem would be too scared to write a diss track on me. I guess I said it too fast, though, and she thought I didn't want to, but was just saying yes to make her happy because she made a pouty face and asked, please? Hell to the no. It's too late, fish. It's already been declared. It's fate. It's like the Rick and Morty episode with the fortune cookies. You're going to have sex with your mom. Uh-oh. Poor Jerry. No, that implies you and I had sex. Exactly, fish. Exactly. Not just implies. Confirms. Hell no to the no, no, no. I don't know, man. You haven't seen me dressed up yet, fish? You haven't seen me yet? You'll fall in love as soon as you see me. I guess I said it too fast, though, and she... Oh, wait, where? To which I responded with a, what? I said yes. I want to go shopping with you. Was it the only... Was it the only way I... Was it the way I said it, or... Before I can continue, I'm already trapped in a hug. I know it's weird, but I felt like I was choking from a hug. Then let's go. You're not a nerd anymore. You really are better than before. An improvement, as you said. Okay, get your stuff on. I look at her and tilt my head a bit. Now? But it's getting dark out. She's too excited to wait. So she's already getting her shoes on. So? Shopping can't wait. Correction, I will never talk and stream again after that one. Your story shall be finished for sure now. Baddie alert. I'm not holding that to you to that, fish. Don't worry. She pulls me up and I fix my hair quickly. We'll take the bus to the mall and we'll go from there. After I'm done getting my stuff on, we head out the door and head down to the bus stop. We get to the bus stop and stand outside the glass area. Araya asks me, so, are there buses on this earth? Or are you... I interrupt, somewhat with attitude. Buses, cars, planes, trains, boats, rockets. Yep. Well, the rockets don't really do much. She snickers. Rockets? Pfft. We haven't used rockets since... I don't even know. She looks out towards the street to look for a bus while continuing. So I guess that hasn't changed. Rockets still don't do much. Boats are kinda useless here, though, unless you want to be in, like, New Tropica and some... You want to be in, like, New Tropica or something. I check my phone for the time and end up forgetting because Araya grabs me and snaps a pic of us. Smile! But I can't. Callie, you gotta smile for the camera! I get a half smile out and she takes another picture. Close enough, she says while walking into the glass part of the shop. I sigh while following her. Sorry. She sits down and looks at me with another worried face. It's alright, we're sisters. You don't gotta apologize for feeling down. I sit down beside her and look out into the street. Yeah, but I'm not really sad. If anything, I'm happy. I have people who care about me now. Don't know why it's still so hard to smile. True inner shit, right? Like, the depth of conflict and acceptance and the time that it takes in order for you to get to that point, right? Like, it's that moment of numbness before you have the full acceptance after the realization. Very human. I can feel my voice getting shaky. She hugs me from the side while I go to say something. You don't have to smile if you can't. You just being in the picture is enough to make it a good picture. I felt like something was choking me at that moment, and I couldn't say anything else or I'd cry. But for once, I'd be crying happy tears. she knows. You're telling the truth about all this, aren't you? You're gonna cry, and crying on command is hard. Well, depends on who you are. I spent my entire childhood crying on command. She pats my back a few times before pulling away from the hug and standing up. A bus coming down the street as the sky goes pitch black. Isn't it too dark to go shopping? I manage to shakily ask. She looks at the bus as it pulls to the stop. It's never too late to go shopping, especially in this situation. I stand up and wipe away the few tears that manage to slip out of my eyes. We both go onto the bus, pay, and sit down near the back. It's mostly a quiet ride as Araya texts on her phone and shows me her favorite pictures. And every now and then she'll talk about a photo or place she wants to go with me. I nod along and enjoy every second of the ride. Soon enough, the bus stops at the mall and we hop off, thanking the bus driver like the good citizens we are before heading into the mall. Araya giggling and laughing over the story she's telling. I'm smiling, wishing I could laugh along. Once we get into the mall, she walks towards some generic clothing shop. Full of soft white girl clothes and Old Navy jeans. She says, "This was your style. It sucked. Don't be a Leah." Or a Leia? I don't know. I'm bad with names. That could either be Leah or Leia, right? I look around at all the moms shopping for bland clothing before walking with Araya to a different shop. White girl clothes? Walmart clothes, fish! There's sweaters, t-shirts, shoes, sandals, lol. Leia line was due to a bored girl in my class at the time. Yep. Okay. Ripped jeans, shorts, skirts, crop tops, shirts with shoulder gaps, Crocs, and so much more. Lots of stuff that'll show off a little more skin than I'd be comfortable with. There's a makeup section, which Araya sprints to and picks up like 10 things. That's like 10 things of makeup? That's like $120. I picked out one thing so she doesn't harass me. She does anyways. Come on, don't be afraid to spend money. Get at least 2 more. She nudges me playfully. Roll my eyes and get 2 more things before walking towards a pair of thigh-high socks. Some t-shirts along with black and white striped sleeves and a chain belt that looks very cool. I end up getting them. Rebel, I joke sarcastically while looking towards Araya. She looks at me with a smile and picks out a flower-themed sweater, to which I sigh, soft girl. 120? I think you're being modest. Don't be afraid to spend money, women summarized. Yeah, like not 120, not, Sean, not like 10 expensive things, like 10 basic things, right? Like something like this is like $8. It's an eyeline pencil. How the fuck is this $8? It's a fucking scam. Creature is right. Makeup is expensive. The idea is that inflation and taxes don't exist, so everything stays as cheap as possible. Nobody ever needs to price things higher since the cost of living is so low all around. Nice. So you definitely want to capitalize on that and say, whoa, isn't this kind of expensive? And just be like, what do you mean? Makeup's super cheap. Supply and demand doesn't really exist here either, since they have future tech to make produce easier. Yeah. So it's like the idea of basically having a replicator or something like that, right? I roll my eyes and get 2 more things before walking towards a pair of... I end up explaining things as the story goes. Yeah, okay. High socks, some t-shirts with black and white striped sleeves, and a chain belt that looks very cool. I end up getting them. Rebel, I joke sarcastically, looking towards Araya as she looks at me with a soft smile and picks out a flower-themed sweater, to which I sigh, soft girl. I think makeup was created by a man, so his workers would look like they had just finished work with a client and were thus popular. I mean, marketing is an amazing thing, Sean. It has evolved so many different things. I'll just say that it's not anything to do with her killing herself and more due to her being who she is. Why is it that self-harm leads one to be transported to this world? Spoil? Callie Marantine is a late teenage girl tied up in a cosmic bet. After killing herself on her sweet 16, she finds herself in a set of new worlds that her grandfather used to tell her bedtime stories about. She soon finds herself in the middle of a plot to stop a dictatorship before it can take hold of her new life. Need to word it better, but there. Time. Marantine. Or teen? Marantine? I don't know how to pronounce shit. She gets another. No, I hate that style. It's for a photo, which confuses me. No time, but with an time. Marantine. Callie Marantine, Araya Marantine, and the Marantine sisters. Nice. Like the tine of a fork. What the fuck is a tine of a fork? You lost me, Sean. Way over my head. Picked out some ripped jeans and shorts. Each of the little pokey bits is a tine. Oh, the prongs on the fork? I didn't know that. Thought they were just called prongs. Or teeth. Prongs typically have barbs on them. I guess that's true. Some forks do have barbs, though. I pick out some ripped jeans and shorts along with some other stuff, and we head towards checkout. As we're heading home, I check my phone again and realize that it's past 12 and it's Saturday. Oh my god, my nose. Why? Why are you being such a bitch today? Ito cat! Yes. If there is a cat in my name, that is true. Sneeze stream. Okay, we're going for the world record non-induced sneezes. What is the world record of organic non-induced sneezes? As in, like, you didn't just shove spice and pepper up your nose to sneeze. It was like a natural occurrence. Usually caused by an acclimation of dust in your nose. Playing with the hairs. Whatever you just did. Congrats, bro. My dad's done 14. My dad sneezed 14 times in a row. That's our family record. Just learned this. You can get your cat to eat eggs on the regular. It reduces the part of their spit that people are allergic to. Wait, people are allergic to their spit, and that's why people are allergic to cats, because they lick themselves, Sean? And then their spit is on their hair? Dude, that's sick. Did you know the bacteria on cats' tongues is actually, like, more potent than soap? Than, like, laundry detergent? For cleaning purposes? It's on their dander and you breathe it in. It's not just their hair or dander. Huh. Cool. There's no school Saturday and Sunday, right? I ask. She nods. Mm-hmm. Sleeping time. I nod back as I open the door to our house and walk up the stairs. I like wake up at 7 time because my body can't get used to sleeping in. I'm just too perfect, she mumbles with a half annoyed, half tired voice. So is this instead of saying o'clock? I have 2. That's why I like cats, clean animals. I have a cat. She's a runt. Her name's Daisy. She's black and white. Because I'm like, is this another... Okay. But the way that people say things is very important, right? So it's like I latch onto that immediately. So I feel like that should be capitalized on in some way with the way that they talk. But that's one of those things like replacement of words in small ways, right? Like saying the fates instead of goddamn. Like damn the fates instead of goddamn. Or like saying like 7 time instead of fuck. Fuck. Guys, I will eat. Guys, I'm gonna eat this ruler, okay? That hurt my throat. Guys, don't eat rulers. Oof. That didn't go down so well. Blah! I mean, what? Huh? I didn't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about. No idea. Sorry, I can't help you. Kind of just one of those things, right? It'll work if it'll work, but I don't know about that. Sometimes, whoops, it's more than you need. More than you can have, right? Something that presses on the inside in the back of your mind, being like, uh-oh. Fuck! Okay, I almost locked the grinder again. Alright, 3, 2, 1, choke! More like wake up at 7 time because my body can't get used to sleeping in. I'm just too perfect. She mumbles with a half annoyed, half tired voice. I give her a sympathetic look before sitting on the couch in the living room. TV is on and my mom and dad are watching some sort of news channel. Hey honey, how was school? Oh, I see you and Araya went shopping. Finally bonding together? My new mom asks me, looking back and forth between me and the TV screen. Yeah, I had a good day. Just thought I'd continue the happy streak, I guess, I reply, looking at her before watching the news. It's reported on some sort of criminal activity spike in some areas. Ugh. Aw, it's always nice to know you two still care for each other. What'd you get? She asks, my new dad looking over at me and the shopping bags. The mall? Hey, be careful out there, alright? Points to the TV screen. There are bad people that'll do bad things if you're not careful. I look to both of them, sort of looking back and forth between them. Oh yeah? We'll be careful. We mostly got some clothes and makeup, some other things like snacks too. My new dad nods and smiles before going back to watching the TV. Mom nods too. Well, I'm glad you had fun. Before looking back at the TV. After watching the news a bit longer, I head upstairs with the stuff that I bought and placed them in my room. Looking around, I spot Araya taking pictures in some of the clothes she bought. Taking and deleting picture after picture until she takes one that she deems worthy enough to go onto her socials. No, click. No, click. Nope, ugh. She gets her hairbrush from her drawer and brushes her hair quickly before putting it back. Click. There we go. She nods to herself as she goes to post the pictures. I look at my bags and wonder if I should do the same, but then remember that I'd die inside if I looked at myself. So taking pictures was out of the picture. Heh. How do you have so much confidence? I asked her, seeing her type away on her phone. She looks up at me for a sec, looking back at her phone. Simple. I know I'm good looking. People compliment me all the time. I nod. Yeah, guess that'd help. She looks over to me, somewhat frowning. I'm gonna guess you have confidence issues? I smile a little and go to pick up something from the stuff I bought. Bingo. Yeah. She nods a little before looking back at her phone. Well, maybe we could try to fix that. She puts her phone down and walks towards me. You thinking of trying something on? I look at the clothes I took out. I guess. I mean, I bought them, so might as well. I look at the change room. Is it normal to have a change room in your room here? Araya looks at the change room. Yep. But not one as nice as ours. I nod. You can change whenever you want. I don't rush ya. Just try to do it before I go to sleep because I want to see what you look like in those clothes. She smiles. I nod again. Noted. After a bit of clattering, I decide it's time to try on the clothes I picked up and stand up. Clothes I picked up and stand up. Alrighty, think I'll go change into these clothes. Araya squeals in excitement as I pick up the clothes and head into the changing room. I give her a confused look. Sorry, not just every day I get to see you expressing yourself and listening to my advice. She has a certain smile on her face that can only be described as... I nod and head into the change room with the change of clothes. You can't see me in here, right? I ask. That would be weird. Yes, I can't see you, she replies. I get changed into the outfit, putting on the t-shirt with the striped sleeves underneath. I put on a pair of ripped jeans even though they're not really my style. So I put the chain belt on around my waist and counteract it. Once I'm done getting changed, I step out and put the clothes I was wearing on my bed. By the time I look over at Araya, she's already squealing and jumping up and down. Oh my fate, it's like my daydreams are. You look amazing in that. She has the biggest smile on her face again. I must have been making her day pretty good, simply by bonding with her. Maybe we both craved sisterly bonding. It's kind of like she was neglected by her sister in her world, and Callie felt... the sister felt that Callie, like this Callie, the previous Callie, was neglecting her. So they're both getting something out of it, which makes the connection stronger because it's not just one-sided. And that it makes it feel like real, right? Like it's not just like dragging on, right? It's like it's actually has meaning to it. And those bonding moments are the most important. Like I said earlier, like setting up what's normal is super important so you can shift what's going on in the story to make it so that now normal has been flipped on its head. But without knowing what normal was, you can't know how the characters have been disturbed by what's happening, right? I've been making her day pretty good simply by bonding with her. Maybe we both crave sisterly bonding. I smile back to the best of my extent and sit on my bed, looking as she gets her phone out. We need to take a picture. She puts her phone in selfie mode and waves me over to her side. I stand up and she sit beside her, smiling as much as I can. Araya puts her arm around my back and pulls me in for a half hug as she takes the pictures. I get surprised by this and my face goes from a full smile to a surprised look, and then to a genuine smile as the picture collage and Araya set the phone to take pictures. Araya set the phone to take captures it all. Araya smiles all the way through and letting out a giggle at the end. I have a sister! She squeals, looking back at photos with me. Didn't you already? I would ask/say. Araya knows what I'll say. Yes, but not like this, she explains. Sure, I had a sister, but we weren't like sisters, you know? I nod, knowing exactly what she means now. Well then, that makes the two of us, I reply, adjusting myself to look at her. Anytime you want to do something, anything, like this again, just ask. This was fun. Thank you. And before she can say anything back, I pull her into a tight hug. Araya, hugging back. I'd like that, but maybe not all the time, so it feels special. Araya nods as we hug a little. Nods a little as we hug. We hug for a few more seconds before letting go. Araya still fully smiling. I still maintain my smile, but it's now more of a small grin than a smile. Yeah, defo. Stand up, stretching and yawning. I'm getting pretty tired. Araya looks at me and sighs. Yeah, I do suppose it's getting late. She gets up. All good moments have to come to an end, as you said. I look at her. Pretty sure I didn't say that. Araya clicks her tongue. Sorry. You said that before today, when you were still mostly a boring blank slate. I nod slowly, wondering how boring I really was and how any of this even makes sense in the first place. Right. Guess it is something I would say I think? Araya nods and heads out of the room. Good night, Callie. See you in the morning. I look around before looking back at her. Where are you going? Araya turns around and puts her phone in her pocket. To my room. I looked around the room I'm in. But isn't this your room? Our room? I ask. Araya laughs quietly and smiles. Yeah, I guess you forgot that too or whatever. That room is just a room Mom and Dad put together to get us to hang out more. We have our own actual rooms for more privacy and personalization. I raise my eyebrows, surprised that I technically have 2 rooms. Oh, really? That's nice. Well, why were you in here this morning then? Rhea looks at the bed I woke up on. 'Cause you were, she says lightly before turning back around and walking down the hall and into her room. Your room is the one on the left with the heart and clock on it. Good night, Callie, she says somewhat loudly from across the hall and in her room before she closes her door. I look to my door quickly before heading back into the changing room to get back into some more comfy clothes. Building the anticipation now because this is the moment here where everything I feel should start to fall on its head. Am I right about that? It's darkest before the dawn, it's lightest before the dark. Well, you're doing a great job of leading in a direction, that's for sure. Holy shit. And that's the thing about, like, this isn't, again, this isn't necessarily my type of story, right? This isn't like I'm like sci-fi fantasy, right? Like, high fantasy, high sci-fi. Like, I love worlds from scratch kind of idea. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate these stories, right? It's just like, if I'm going out of my way to read something and spend time on it in my own entertainment, it's like it's going to be sci-fi or high fantasy. But I love delving into the nuances of the other genres because I find the elements of them that are emphasized fascinating. Tried going for a slow reveal for this series, at least. Yeah, and it gets you to know the character, right? Which is very important. And it's done slowly, methodically, and interestingly, right? Alright, Nico, are you still here? In any case, we'll just go and get chapter 10 gone and done ditter. Just so we have it ready. I usually prefer to write more grounded worlds with slight shifts in the rule set, but I'm starting up a story with some others called Overborn. Ooh, it's fantasy. Cool. I love that name. That's very evocative. I'm like, ooh. That could mean a lot of different things. I don't remember what the fuck I'm doing with a post-apocalyptic feel. Nice! Oh, right, downloads. Sands of Time. No. No, it's the other one. Think like Fairy Tail meets Horizon Zero Dawn. Hints of Destiny. Dude, I fucking love Fairy Tail. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. That sounds amazing, dude. I love Fairy Tail. I've only seen the first half. Okay, I love Fairy Tail so much. Connection, you're probably one of the only people that'll get this. The main endgame quest in my Final Fantasy book is called the 100-Year Quest. Dude, I want to get it on my foot! Hell yeah! I'm like, if I ever get a tattoo, it would be the Fairy Tail insignia. Hands down, 100%. Yeah, it's because the dungeon is so, like, insane that nobody's completed it in over 100 years. So they call it the 100-Year Quest. Because the quest for it has been posted for over 100 years, just like in Fairy Tail. It's like my Fairy Tail Easter egg. I'm still on it, and I'm afraid to finish it, because that'd mean I'm going to be done all the Fairy Tail, which is sad, but I love it. I'm the same way. Like, I watched up to the end of the Alderaan arc of 100-Year Quest. But I haven't watched past that. Like, they introduced, like, the Dream Sky Dragon or whatever it was. The one that can manipulate reality. I can't remember her name. And that was, like, the last episode I watched. Okay, this is the wrong one. That's why. Well, what the hell? Yeah, Story of Overbone is actually the one that kicks off the entire storyverse I have. Oh, that's cool. Hell yeah. Alright, I don't know if Nico's here, but Sean, are you ready for your story? Chapter 51? It's like post-Rapture, and there's now magic and shit in ancient ruins, and everyone's trying to piece together the old world, trying to figure out stuff in this new world. Damn, that sounds epic, Connection. Fuck yeah. Well, this is an ominous kind of ish title because we know we're going to Earth, and the title is World. So someone slipped something up. There's guilds, but I call them houses, and then they all specialize in different shit. Oh, that's so cool. I love the idea of, like, houses. Especially if, like, you have, like, houses without a royal connotation. Like families, right? Like, my main house is called House of Soul Aor Soul. And they're dedicated to protecting others and helping people out of tough times, named after the sun god dragon. Ah. Cool. That's sick.